Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is Friday, June 30th, 2023. It's a little earlier than usual because I got to get out of the house a little quicker than usual. And this podcast is going to be a little shorter than usual because, again, speed is of the essence this morning. Let's get into today's news. It finally happened. The third largest asset manager has amended their Bitcoin ETF to match BlackRock's. And who is that? Fidelity. The rumors were stirring that Fidelity is going to change and amend their Bitcoin ETF, and they did. But the interesting thing about this is not that they're changing it to match BlackRock's. Their reasoning for having a spot Bitcoin ETF is saying that it would help Americans avoid risk. They said this, in quote, "To this point, the lack of a spot Bitcoin ETF exposes U.S. investor assets to significant risk because investors who would otherwise see crypto asset exposure through a spot Bitcoin ETF are forced to find alternative exposure that are generally riskier means. We're looking at you, FTX." Now, the hypocrisy of the SEC of not having a spot Bitcoin ETF is not going unnoticed because last week they approved the first leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF. And people are scratching their heads saying, how the hell do we have leveraged future ETFs, but not spot Bitcoin ETFs? Now, the SEC is doing its best to stay in the news. As we know, SEC is suing Coinbase, and Coinbase had a reply saying, just drop all the charges. This is ridiculous. You have actually no authority to even do the things that you're doing. And the SEC had 40 days to respond. Well, they didn't need a lot of that because they said, nah, bring it. And the court case for SEC versus Coinbase is set for July 13th. Well, just because there's this little hiccup called the SEC in Coinbase's life, they're not going to stop their work. Coinbase's Ethereum Layer 2 network base is prepping for its Mainnet launch. And part of the prep for the Mainnet launch is that 100 people recently poured over the network's code as part of an audit contest. However, no major flaws were found. A lot of minor things that they tweaked, and they're going to make a more stable and secure network, but nothing major. Therefore, $100,000 in USDC was up for grabs and left on the table. So this hackathon ran for about 2 weeks. It ended June 9th, and nobody won that money. Even though it's not official, I would say that they're still looking for people to break the code, to find major flaws. And so if you are that smart to be able to do that, $100,000 could be yours. And finally today, we're going into the 4th of July weekend. And how could you spend the 4th of July without a Trump NFT? No, not Donnie Boy. This one is Melania. Melania Trump is launching her $50 4th of July collectibles. They are called the 1776 collection. They lean on familiar American imagery using photos of landmarks such as the Statue of Liberty, Mount Rushmore, and they're affixed to animated placards. And so there are 7 designs and 3,500 NFTs up for grabs, again at $50 a piece. So if you were going into the 4th of July weekend wondering how you could be as patriotic as possible, well, this is the way that you show your love for America, by buying a $50 NFT from Melania Trump. Show your patriotism with the 1776 collection. Now let's take a look at those crypto prices.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Bitcoin is approaching that $31,000 mark. It's at $30,951, up 1% in 24, up 3 and 7. Ethereum's at $1,889, up 1%. Tether's number 3, Binance is at $240, up 2%, and USDC is number 5. Running off the top 10, we have XRP, Cardano, Dogecoin, Solana, and Litecoin at that $100 mark. Remember, Litecoin's halving is coming up here pretty soon. I think it's in about a month, so we might have a little bit of movement from Litecoin. One thing everybody slept on, nobody saw coming, is Bitcoin Cash hit a 14-month all-time high. It's sitting at $307. It's up 112% in 7 days and 26% in 24 hours. What the hell is going on with Bitcoin Cash? I have no clue. I read a couple articles and they just said, hey, we're trading on Upbit. Okay, so that's what's moving the price so much. Everybody was just clamoring for Bitcoin Cash. I smell a little funny business. What do you think? Anyway, if you're hodling Bitcoin Cash, maybe it's a good time to take some profits. Not financial advice, but maybe it is. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Will it be this weekend I'll record I don't know. Maybe, for sure on Monday. But until the next podcast, happy hodling, everyone.